Okay, let's consider going on to part 2. This is from lesson with base 10, part 2, your assignment where you're considering Zanaida and MaryAnn's class and how they respond to some questions with place value. There is a link that's here. You can hit Control and then click to follow the link. It says you can trust it. It should open up. You will have to sign in with your account information. When you signed in, you will see notes. That's what I mean. Make note and refer to that page of your e-text. You can also locate it by going directly through Canvas. You can email information to me here. Your video should be emailed here. And here are the questions that you are considering and that were asked to, is it Zanaida or Zanaida? I'm not sure, can't remember. And MaryAnn. Which numeration systems was she familiar with? And what do you know about numeration system? Are you familiar with the Hindu Arabic numeration system? I'm sorry, voice is leaving. And why is it important for teachers and students to have a strong understanding of place value? When you've discussed that with your group, you can watch the video, the link's on the next page. And then for MaryAnn's class, how would you teach an understanding for ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands placed to a class? And then what would be important to consider when teachers use problem solving that teach place value? So part 3 actually has you watching the videos and you answer your questions as a group. The questions are here. The videos are here, and I'm going to play them through in this screencast just in case something is not working. It'll be posted on our YouTube channel.
But how many tens are there in 32?
3.
Very good. And how do you know that there are 3 tens in 32?
10 times 3 is 30.
Very good. Okay. And how many tens are in 120?
12.
12. Great. And how did you know that there were 12 tens in 120?
There's 10 tens in 100 plus 2 more tens is 12.
Perfect. That's great. Okay. And how many ones are there in 316?
316.
Great. And how did you know that?
Because 316 times 1 is 316. And if 16 times 1 and it's 316, just
great. So you know that when you have 1 1 and you multiply it by 316, they're actually telling you that there are 316 ones.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay, if there's 3 tens in 32, how many ones are there in 32?
32.
Okay. And then let's go back. Before you move on to MaryAnn's video, go ahead and answer those 2 questions. The teacher uses oral questioning to assess that understanding and give an example and then describe another way the teacher could have assessed it. And then this one, did she demonstrate a strong understanding and give examples or quotes that support your answer? Then move on to the MaryAnn video, and I will play that here in this screencast as well, just in case your information isn't working. For most of these links, when you click on them, it's a control click because it's embedded in a Word document. it should open up for you. I'll play it in the screencast.
Let me take you back to the sequence again where Donnie says he thinks he knows how many, or another way to say 192,000. And he says there's 1,920 hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what you were thinking at that time.
At that moment in time, so 1,920 hundreds is what he said, right? At that moment in time, I did have to pause and consider what he had said. It was not automatic. But I really wanted him to explore it to help him understand and verify his thinking, as well as give me the opportunity to verify my own thinking.
Cross off the 0, and that tells you how much tenths the answer.
Why? Why do you think that'll work? So you're telling me to do this zero, I
Because that times 10 will make 0. So 19,200 would times 10 equals 192,000. And yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. I agree with Bobby for one reason, because he would sense there's 1,920 hundreds, so you need to add one more 0 or times 10, because there's, I'm thinking like 10 is, there's 10 more groups of that
Hang on
number.
just a second. Danny and Rachel, I really want to hear what he's saying.
There's 10 more groups of that number. Because that's hundreds. And then there's 10 more groups. There's 1,920 hundreds.
Okay. So you're going back over here.
Yeah.
But you're going to get to this by this. Do I understand you correctly? Okay.
And then, well, there's 10 groups of 1,920. Because
There's 10 groups of 1,920 and what? Can I erase this? There's 10 groups of 1,920 and what, Donnie?
like, it's hard to explain.
Would it help if you wrote it?
Maybe.
Right.
But because
See what you guys think if you can follow, because I'm having trouble.
you would have to times 10. There's 10. That's because that's hundreds, and you need tens. So if you times that by 10, it will give you, because tens are smaller than hundreds. Because there's 10 tens and 100. So you have to times by 10 to get how many tens.
What are you going to times by 10?
With this.
Try it. See what you get. And you think that if you multiply the number of hundreds
Because there's
times 10,
because there's 10 tens and 100.
and so then that comes back to Bobby's original prediction? When Donnie came up with the idea that there are 1,920 hundreds, I think it was, in 192,000, that calls for a lot more of an understanding of the number system and how the numbers relate to each other than a basic understanding. And that's third and fourth grade, and that's pretty heavy-duty thinking there. So I think that Donnie's thinking right there is really very clear evidence that you have to go beyond a surface knowledge, and the way he was proving his thinking by their 10 groups of 10 and 100 and 10 hundreds and 1,000, therefore, that's really a very, very deep level of understanding of place value taking place in the third and fourth grade classroom.
So now that you've been able to watch these with our YouTube link or from a screencast, you should be able to answer these questions with your group and get all of that done by September 2nd, which is Thursday. Good luck. Email me with questions.